Today's April 15th, and today's quote is entitled, Lord Caitanya will personally take us back to Godhead. And this is a conversation between Tamal Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. And Tamal Krishna was engaged in very difficult service, which was occupying his entire day. And he didn't have sufficient time for hearing and chanting, and his mind was very disturbed about the situation. It was even difficult for him to chant his japa. And so this conversation is within that context, so you better understand what's going on when you understand the context. Tamal Krishna Goswami, what hope is there? Instead of thinking of Krishna, I'm thinking of temple finances. Srila Prabhupada. So many lifetimes we have wasted on ourselves. Now for this one lifetime, let us work heart and soul to push on Lord Caitanya's sankirtana movement. Then, at the end of life, Lord Caitanya will personally come and cover whatever we lack and take us back to Godhead. And here's another quote, independent of that conversation. By preaching that life comes from life and defeating the scientist, you will realize your Sarup in Vraja. Srila Prabhupada to Bhakti Svarupa Damodara Swami. There are other incidents in which Prabhupada said similar things. He said this to the book distributors. If you dedicate your life to book distribution, you'll go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. If you build the TOVP, Bhaktivinoda Thakur will personally come and take you back to Godhead. If you chant 16 rounds, follow the regular principles, dedicate your life to this movement, I will guarantee that I will take you back to Godhead. So this seems, in a sense, contradictory to our philosophy, because there's a specific process to get back to Vraja and to realize you are Sarup. But Prabhupada here is saying that the Sankirtan movement, dedicating yourself to preaching, is so important, so pleasing to Krishna and so pleasing to me, that if you do that, you'll get so much mercy that by bringing fallen souls back to Krishna, Krishna will reserve a place for you. There's a story, which I've told before, in which a man was serving Prabhupada by building homes for the devotees and helping to build the temple and protect the temple when they were building it in Juhu. But he wasn't initiated. And the devotees were saying, why don't you get initiated? And he just didn't feel qualified. And he went to Prabhupada and said, devotees are encouraging me to get initiated, because the idea is if you don't get initiated, ultimately you won't go back home, back to Godhead. And Prabhupada said, as you are building homes for the devotees, Krishna right now is preparing your home in the spiritual world. So it's not exactly always step by step by step. But when we consider the mercy of Guru and Krishna for the service they're doing, it transcends the normal conditions. Of course, Krishna could do anything. Prabhupada can do anything. Previous acharyas can do anything. So if they're pleased with our service, then everything will come out perfectly. So I'm not recommending that we compromise our sadhana, but in some instances we have to. Circumstantially, sometimes there's a job to be done and we have to do it. But we have this confidence that by dedicating ourselves to the mission, Prabhupada will take care of us, because pleasing is so important. Preaching is so important, Spreading Krishna consciousness is so important, and it's so dear to Krishna, it's so dear to Prabhupada, that Prabhupada, he knows how pleasing it is to the previous acharyas, and he knows that by doing this, we'll get their mercy and we'll be delivered to the lotus feet of Krishna. Hare Krishna. If you like this video, you can subscribe below. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you share this video with others, if you comment on it, if you like it, do whatever. You have to click to share it, because I think a lot of devotees would appreciate getting these videos. I try to take our philosophy and put it in a practical way so we know how to apply it in daily activity. And this is one of the services I do. And I want to reach as many devotees as possible. If you can help me, I'd appreciate it so much. Thank you.